What if we had two suns? Imagine waking up one morning, looking out your window, and seeing not just one sun rising above the horizon, but two. The sky would be bathed in overlapping colors of light. Shadows would split into strange patterns, and the day would never look the same again. This is what life might be like if Earth orbited around a binary star system. Binary stars, which are two stars bound together by gravity, are actually quite common in the universe. In fact, astronomers believe that more than half of all stars are part of binary, or even multiple star systems. So, what if Earth had been placed in such a system? How would it change the planet, the climate, and life itself? To begin, we need to understand how a binary star system works. In some cases, the two stars are of similar size and brightness, orbiting a common center of gravity. In other cases, one star may be much larger while the other is smaller, such as a sun-like star paired with a dim red dwarf. For Earth, the effects would depend greatly on the type of stars and the distance between them. A stable orbit would be possible, but the environment would be very different from what we know. The most obvious difference would be the light. With two stars, the planet could experience more illumination than we currently do. If both stars were similar to the sun, days might be brighter and longer, but nights would be much shorter. In some cases, Earth might never truly experience total darkness, especially if one star is always above the horizon. This would disrupt natural cycles such as circadian rhythms, which govern sleep and biological processes. Humans, animals, and plants would all have to adapt to a world where darkness is rare and the sky glows almost constantly. Now imagine the temperature. Two suns would mean more energy reaching Earth, which could make the planet hotter overall. Depending on the star's brightness and distance, the climate could shift dramatically. Glaciers and polar ice caps might melt, raising sea levels. Deserts might expand as intense heat dries up ecosystems. On the other hand, if one star is smaller, like a red dwarf, its additional light may not add much heat, but could still lengthen daylight hours. Seasons as we know them might not exist in the same way, and Earth could experience extreme temperature swings, depending on the alignment of the stars. Another fascinating effect would be the sky itself. Sunsets and sunrises would look otherworldly. When one star sets, the other might still be shining, casting long, strange shadows across the land. Sometimes the stars might rise and set together, creating double sunrises and double sunsets with spectacular colors. Other times, one might lag behind the other, giving the sky an eerie half-light. The night sky, when it did appear, would be much darker than today, since the stars' combined brightness would wash out many of the visible constellations. Stargazing would never be the same. But how would this affect life on Earth? Plants depend on light for photosynthesis. And with two stars, the amount and type of radiation would change. Some plants might thrive with extra sunlight, while others could be damaged by the increased ultraviolet radiation. Evolution could push life in new directions, favoring species that can adapt to intense light and fluctuating conditions. Animals that rely on darkness to hunt or hide might struggle to survive, forcing them to evolve or go extinct. Humans, too, would need to adapt both physically and culturally. Our history, calendars, and even religions are deeply tied to the sun. With two suns, our myths, timekeeping, and daily lives would look very different. The gravitational pull of two stars would also shape Earth's orbit. If the stars were close together, Earth could orbit them both as if they were a single giant sun. This could create a relatively stable orbit, but slight changes might cause long-term instability. If the stars were farther apart, Earth might orbit one star while being influenced by the other's gravity. This would lead to a wobbly orbit, with unpredictable seasons and possible ice ages or heat waves lasting centuries. Civilization would have to adapt to these extreme climate shifts, making survival much harder. There's also the risk of radiation. If one of the stars were bigger and hotter than the sun, such as a blue giant, the radiation levels on Earth could be lethal. High-energy radiation would strip away the atmosphere, evaporate oceans, and make the planet uninhabitable. On the other hand, if both stars were stable and similar to our sun, Earth could exist in a habitable zone where conditions are not too hot and not too cold. 8. This is called the Goldilocks zone. In theory, such worlds could exist, and astronomers are actively searching for exoplanets in binary systems that could host life. Human culture in a binary star system would also evolve differently. Imagine ancient civilizations looking up and seeing two suns. Astrology, calendars, and early religions might place double importance on celestial events. Our concept of time would be radically different. Instead of a simple cycle of day and night, we would measure time in patterns of overlapping sunlight, a certain days brighter or darker depending on star positions. Art, literature, and mythology would be filled with symbols of dual suns, representing balance, chaos, or even divine power. If technology advanced, humans might harness the extra solar energy from two stars. Solar panels would produce far more power, possibly advancing civilization faster. However, agriculture might face challenges with unpredictable climates and extreme heat. Cities might need protective shields against constant sunlight, and humans might genetically adapt to tolerate stronger radiation. Space exploration might also advance differently, as the gravitational pull of two stars would create unique challenges for leaving Earth's orbit. On a cosmic scale, Earth orbiting a binary star system might not last forever. Binary stars can interact with each other in violent ways. Some transfer mass from one star to the other, creating bursts of radiation. Others eventually collide or explode as supernova, which would obliterate any planets around them. Earth's long-term survival would depend on the stability of its stars. In the worst case, one star could go supernova, frying Earth with deadly radiation and ending all life in an instant. But not all outcomes are catastrophic. A binary system could be stable for billions of years, giving Earth a long window for life to evolve. Perhaps advanced civilizations could even thrive in such a world, adapting to the unique challenges and opportunities that two suns bring. And while Earth only has one star, science fiction often imagines binary star worlds. Like Tatooine in Star Wars, where double sunsets create breathtaking skies. In the end, Earth orbiting a binary star system would be both beautiful and dangerous. The skies would be more dramatic, the climates more extreme, and life more unpredictable. Humanity might struggle at first, but as we have throughout history, we would adapt. Two suns would mean twice the wonder, twice the challenges, and twice the mystery of the universe we call home.